Hi and welcome to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to do a bit of a review video basically on an upgrade touchscreen for the Audi RS6 or RS7 or any of those other variations on the C7 or C7.5 platform. So stay tuned. So when I bought this, or before I bought this, I did a load of research online. I scoured YouTube for videos to try and understand how did these work, were these Android units reliable, what was the functionality like, did CarPlay work well, did it connect wirelessly or did I need to plug something in? And then the other thing I was really keen to understand is how can I keep this piano black trim that runs through this RS6 model, most of which I was unable to find on YouTube, so I kind of just took a punt. So today's video I'm going to show you exactly what I learned and how I've got this looking like an OEM style touchscreen. So the first thing to say is which one did I buy? So I actually bought mine from AliExpress. I took a little bit of a punt. Often these things can take ages to be delivered, they can take a long time. This particular one, this particular company, so I'll leave a link just here. They offered payment on delivery. So actually I put the order in and payment didn't come out of the account until it was delivered. It was delivered within a week. I was really surprised. It came from China, it delivered within a week, and then maybe a few days after that the payment came out. So really happy. The second thing to be aware of is make sure when you select your screen from any of these links that you select the one that's compatible with your current MMI system. So this one is an MK12 I believe, but there are other options. I think there's an M series, K series, different ones. So check on your MMI system what model, what spec yours is, and then choose the corresponding screen to match that. That way you know it's going to work flawlessly with your current OEM MMI system. So a big question I had is, does this work seamlessly with the current factory system? Can I operate and use all the functionality that I could do previously on my old screen? Is it a plug and play? And the simple answer is yes. For this particular one, it's a plug and play. The other thing I was really keen on is getting one that I saw from their advertising fit flush with a dash. Quite often in the videos you see them, and when the screen goes down, they kind of stick proud by maybe half an inch, 20mm from the dash. Some of that's to do with the screen size, the increased screen size. Some of it's also to do with just fitment. And actually this one comes with a special little piece that allows it to fit flush with the dash. But that was already installed with this one, so it was literally just a plug and play job. Installation. So what's installation like? Well, this isn't an installation video, and there's loads on there on YouTube already that tell you how to take the dashboard off, how to take the trims out. It does take a little bit of time, but it is definitely a DIY job. You just need to make sure you've got some of those good plastic trim tools, watch the videos and just see which piece comes out first. You do have to take these dashboard trims off all around here. These air vents come out, and then you take both of these console pieces out. They're fairly straightforward, they're just clipped in. There is then a few screws behind that, but once you've got them done, this whole screen comes out, and actually when it comes to wiring, it's all just a plug and play job with the wiring harnesses that you get included. It did take quite a bit of time to fit the wiring back in because there is quite a chunky wiring harness that comes with it. So just take your time, make sure it's back as far as it can be. Don't rush it and don't force anything. The last thing you want to do is splice or cut one of the wires that are in there. That's just going to be a nightmare for you. The unit comes with like a control box, another module. I've actually installed mine down here. I pulled this side panel off, managed to feed it in there, and it fits nice and flush, and it's tie wrapped to the side, so everything's in there, all nice and secure. So the other big thing I want to know is, does this work interchangeably with the current factory system? So can I use the original MMI interface and then move back over to the touchscreen? And the answer is yes. The original factory interface doesn't work with the touchscreen, but it displays exactly as it did originally on the screen. It's just obviously the screen's a little bit bigger. You can scroll through, you can look at your car settings, so you can change your car settings. You still use the wheel in the middle to navigate. You can flick between the radio, you can use the original sat-nav, you can also use the original telephone system. When you want to switch over to your touchscreen, you can do it one of two ways. You can either press the screen and it flicks straight over to the touchscreen, or you press media, the media button that's on your center console, and that will move you over to the touchscreen. Apple CarPlay. Is it reliable and does it work well? From my experience and my review of this particular one, yes it does. It works seamlessly, it doesn't crash, it connects instantly to your phone when you get in the car and turn the ignition on. It uses wireless as well, so you don't need to plug your phone into any of the dongles or anything like that. It connects to your phone wirelessly. If you want to move back to the original main screen, what you do is you just swipe your finger down and press the home button, and that takes you back to the main menu, where again you can use all of the functionality that you get normally, your media and your navigation, your Bluetooth, your car information. And then the dead easy thing is, if you want to go back to the original factory one, you just click car on the center console, or any of the other buttons, whether it be radio, navigation, and it'll take you back to the main one and you can navigate around. I tend to, as a default, I just have Apple CarPlay on this. I prefer to use the Apple CarPlay sat-nav, whether that be Waze or Google Maps. I use Amazon Music, so I prefer that interface on there mainly. If I do want to go back to the car setting, the original car setting, I just press car, and usually the main reason for that is to change the modes from comfort to dynamic or individual. When I want to go a little bit faster, or I want to hear a little bit more exhaust noise. Personal preference, you may choose to do it differently, but the options are all there. And in all honesty, I'm a guy that's a bit of a stickler for perfection, and this works perfect. Really, really does work perfect. It just gives you, if you're using CarPlay, this is the main reason for the touchscreen. If you're using CarPlay, you want the flexibility to be able to just quickly flick between your apps and change the tracks rather than scrolling and turning the wheel. It's less distracting while you're driving, trying to flick through your songs and navigate. You can just do it really quickly as you're driving. That's the main purpose for getting this touchscreen upgrade. If you don't have Apple CarPlay and you're not using any of those apps, then you don't really need it, because you've got your radio and you've got your functionality. That's the other thing to mention, actually, is everything still works with the steering wheel, so your volumes, flicking between the tracks, all of that, everything still works as factory. The main difference is you've got the option to use CarPlay and use it as a touchscreen. And one final thing to say, guys, is it does actually link in, so when you've got your doors open, it does display that the doors are open. And then the other big question I had that I couldn't find out is, when you turn your heaters and you turn your dials, does it show up on the touchscreen version? Yes, it does, guys. Just like it would OEM. And if I just go back to the original car screen, you can see it looks ever so slightly different, but it's the same functionality. So a big question you'll all ask and all want to know is, will it work as an OEM upgrade? And the answer is yes. So I've got the screen up at the moment. If I just close it now, you can see it goes back in completely flush, and it also maintains that black OEM style look that you get with the RS6 and the RS7s, that piano trim. And that's the big thing, guys, isn't it? You don't want to add a new screen and have a slightly different coloured plastic to there. So I'll take you to the workbench now and I'll show you how I managed to make that possible. So guys, this is the box it came in. As I said, it's already been installed, so this has been taken apart, but what you get is additional things like antenna for digital radio. Don't need that because one was already in. You get a SIM card, so that's a wire that you plug in if you want to put an external SIM card in, if you want to use 4G. I don't, and I wouldn't plan to, so I didn't put that in, but that is an option if you want to use a dedicated SIM card for the internet on it. So what I've got here is the original factory OEM screen. So you'll see here that the factory screen is a lot smaller in terms of the border than the new Android one. So side-by-side comparison here I'll show you. However, the actual size of the screen is exactly the same in terms of the length and width dimensions. So what that's allowed is for you to replace the original piano black trim on the back with the one that comes with the screen. And it clips together really easily. But if I just spin it round, you can see on the back that this is the plastic, the kind of matte black plastic that comes with this, and this does fit and match a lot of the sort of general A6, S6, S-line kind of trims, but for the RS6 and RS7 you want that piano black trim on just to keep it looking factory. So this actually comes off. So if I just put that down there, this trim actually just clips off either side and it comes off pretty easily, and it does on the factory unit as well. So there's a couple of clips either side. And there's a clip in the middle. Just in fact, you just need to get a little screwdriver to just pop that out in the middle. And that just pops off like that. So you can do the same with your piano black one that comes with this original screen. And then literally, guys, you can then just clip this back on, swap them over and install it on your car. And that then gives you that exactly what you want, that factory OEM piano black look with the modern day luxuries of touchscreen. One thing I did have to do on the factory one is there's two tabs here. So if you can just see this here, guys, this little tab here on one side of it, I can't remember if it's the left side or the right side for the piano black one, the OEM one, you do actually just have to snap this off. For whatever reason, the new screen, it doesn't lie, it doesn't clip in quite as flush on one of the sides, so you do have to just very carefully cut that bit off. Just zoom in. You do just have to cut that tab off. Once that's cut off though, and it's only on one side, it just clips back on perfectly. And then guys, what you've got, like I said, is that factory piano black OEM screen. Right guys, so I hope you found that video useful. Like I said, these were all of the questions that I struggled to find on YouTube and searching on the internet. So hopefully that summarised it nicely, and you're ready now to take the plunge and upgrade your screen to one of these Android touchscreens. See you in the next one.